morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. Today is Tuesday, June 20th, 2017. And this morning we welcome George Rallis, our Director of Garden Ridge. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you.
What's happening in Garden Ridge today?
We've got a lot of things going on in Garden Ridge. First, I'd like to offer something that's upcoming. It's a big event that we have done. This will be the third annual event that Garden Ridge goes to the chapel.
Okay.
And this started up several years ago, and it's a community effort from our Pastoral Services Department, our Garden Ridge Programming Department, and also our volunteers. And a lot of our residents here in Green Spring participate in this event. And what the event is our residents in Garden Ridge, a lot of our folks find it very difficult to go to the chapel on a regular basis. So for our Garden Ridge residents, we have different types of spiritual services and worship services that occur in Garden Ridge on a regular basis for residents, because it is challenging for our folks to actually leave Garden Ridge and go to the chapel regularly. So Garden Ridge Goes to the Chapel is an event where we coordinate all of our efforts and assist a large number of Garden Ridge residents to actually go to the chapel for worship service together. And it's a really lovely, large event, and is a great community event where everyone pulls together to assist our residents, and the experience that they have in the chapel is really special to them, because it's not something they're able to do all the time, but it's a very special event that we have. So upcoming on July 26th.
July 26th, which is next Monday?
Is in July.
July 26th,
which will be
I'm sorry.
Toward the end of July.
June to July, I'm sorry, I'm a month ahead. You're planning ahead.
That's okay. And it'll be at 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And we do ask for any independent living residents who are interested in volunteering. They can contact our chaplain, Annie Smith.
Okay.
And her office is located in Garden Ridge. And they can call her or email her if they're interested in volunteering for the day. Most of our independent living residents who volunteer for this event will essentially be an escort. They'll help assist our Garden Ridge residents to get to and from the chapel. Our transportation department does a great job with providing bus service, shuttle service to get there, and usually with the volunteers, they just help to guide residents or even give a little assistance and a push in a wheelchair.
So
as
contact
needed.
Annie Smith.
Exactly.
At Garden Ridge. You can call her, you can email her, and she will give you an assignment and tell you how you can help.
Exactly. It's really a wonderful event, and certainly encourage everyone who's able and willing to come and support that event.
I'm sure it would be a very fulfilling day.
It will be. We're looking forward to it.
Good.
I also wanted to also give another brief announcement. We at Garden Ridge, we have an ombudsman. And
I've heard that word for years. Tell me what that means.
The word, that's a tough one. I actually don't know the root of the word, but
okay.
An ombudsman is someone who is an advocate for someone else, someone who helps someone else who's in need. And the ombudsman in Garden Ridge is not an employee of Green Spring. They're not an employee here in the community, but it's actually a volunteer who works through the local Council on Aging, and that is an organization through Fairfax County.
Okay.
And so the Ombudsman program is a network of volunteers who spend time at places like Garden Ridge and other nursing facilities and assisted living facilities in the area, and they will visit those facilities through a couple days a week, and they'll talk with residents and they'll speak with residents who live there, and to kind of get a feel for how things are going.
Just familiar with the facility.
Exactly. And it's a great opportunity if there's a resident who speaks with an ombudsman and needs to speak about something that may be sensitive and maybe needs some assistance in communicating that, or if there's a request, a need that may not being met. It's an opportunity for that resident to speak to someone who is not employed at the community, but to speak to someone independently, and then that person can work with our community with our leadership to resolve any type of challenge or question that someone might have. So in Garden Ridge, the ombudsman is new to us. She started in May, and her name is Susan Adams. So Susan Adams is a volunteer ombudsman, and she is coming to Garden Ridge several days a week. Not for the full day, but she makes a couple of visits throughout the week, and she will spend time talking with our residents, and she will actually follow up if there's anything that we can assist a resident with, or if there's a challenge or a question someone may have. She helps to be that liaison and advocate for a resident who may otherwise might not be comfortable speaking directly to facility staff or to leadership, particularly if it's a sensitive issue.
So I'm thinking in some cases that I have heard here, and as I think you know, my mother spent many years in assisted living. Sometimes residents and their families don't feel comfortable talking with management. They have and sadly have a feeling that if they bring up a concern with management, that somehow it will reflect upon the resident, which of course is not the case in any facility. Right. But perhaps I'm thinking for this ombudsman would be a person that the resident or the family member could go to and discuss their concern, and that concern could be, I'm sure very sensitively, then communicated to management without the resident feeling that the resident or the resident's family is involved in voicing a concern. Is that correctly stated?
Yes. That's. I think you put it much better than I did. It really is. It's the ombudsman is someone that. Again, to avoid that concern of talking to management staff or leadership staff in the community, particularly if it's a sensitive issue and someone may not be just real comfortable with that. This is an independent person who can listen and will take the time to listen to someone, and they can do what they can to help. If the resident wishes to remain anonymous, then the ombudsman will honor that wish and make sure that they remain anonymous, and may be able to find a different approach to help them. So again, Susan Adams is the name of our ombudsman, and her picture is actually in the lobby of Garden Ridge. It's on the wall next to the TV when you first come into the lobby, and it has her picture, her name, contact information. So if anyone again, would need to speak to the ombudsman or resident advocate, that her information is available to everyone, and she is visiting Garden Ridge a couple days a week.
What a wonderful volunteer activity for her to do. That's really a commitment on her part.
It is. We appreciate that Susan coming to Green Spring and coming to Garden Ridge to work with us, and it really is a nice service that she offers for our residents. And I've already heard some very positive things from folks that have spoken with her and how she's been helpful to them.
And again, people should not be afraid to use her.
Right, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
That's why she's there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
So I've spoken a few times on Channel 6 previously, but also wanted to give another update on the repositioning at Garden Ridge. So we have simultaneous projects going on right now. One project is the renovation of our existing Garden Ridge building.
That's the inside work.
Inside work. There we go. And currently we're working inside of Rose Court 4.
I think here on the screen we're seeing some of the outside work.
Okay, yeah. So this is on the screen is the outside construction area. This is the construction of Dogwood Commons, which will be the new residential building that will be in addition to our existing Garden Ridge. Dogwood Commons will be 89 apartments. It will have assisted living and memory care. And when Dogwood Commons is finished, it will connect the Evergreen and Rose Court areas of Garden Ridge, and the courtyard in the center of Garden Ridge will be an enclosed courtyard. And so we're real excited about the progress that's being done. You can see some of the equipment and construction. That particular piece of equipment is actually a remote control.
I've seen those work. Those are fun.
So some of this equipment they have now, the technology, they can operate the equipment without an individual even being on the equipment, but can control it via remote. And so it's been really a lot of work, a lot of noise, a lot of dust going on, but that's what comes with the construction. And I'm happy to say we haven't had really maybe one noise concern that's come up from our residents, but for the most part, the noise is during the day and is not interrupting with sleep in the evening time. And the construction crews are being very sensitive to the needs of our residents who are there while this construction's going on.
I think if I were a resident right now, I would be finding a window seat and just being entertained by watching it all happen right now.
A lot of our residents do find it very entertaining to watch by the window and see the work being done. We do have several folks on different neighborhoods, and everyone's got a really great view from the dining areas and from the programming areas. There's windows on all neighborhoods that look into the courtyard, and it's really a nice area to watch the construction and the comfort of being inside of Garden Ridge, air-conditioned space, and be able to comfortably watch versus being outside in the heat.
Almost as good as watching a football game.
There you go. There you go.
And the inside work, we just have about a minute left. The inside work is kind of moving things to one side while work is being done, and then kind of like washing your kitchen floor. You move everything over, you wash half of it, and then you move everything to the other side and wash the other half.
Right, right. So we're working inside of Rose Court 4. They're currently renovating our programming space and our small dining room. And once those areas are completely renovated, those will open up again for resident use, and then we'll close down the main dining room for renovation.
So it's all moving forward.
It's moving forward.
George, thank you for the update. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing you again next month.
I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.